So this is Back at It, Political Junkies Overtime. And we're going to talk about the AOC versus Yoho, Crazy Yoho, Yoho Loco. All right, I'm gonna let John start it off.
Well, man, I have two daughters, and I was sitting there and I looked at AOC speech. One, she made me proud, wanting to be Latino, and one, and two, she made me proud and gave me hope of me raising two daughters and this environment that we have right now. Because we know, as a male, we know that behavior is there, right? And we know that it's something that happens all the time, and we as male have to do better. We can't excuse this behavior. We have to continue to do better and stand up for things like this. So the fact that that she, after he went to the Senate floor and tried to excuse, and she said, oh, just because I have a daughter and I have a wife, I'm a decent man. The fact that she went in to the floor and fought and said this is unacceptable made me really proud. So I'm totally with her, and I think definitely we can't excuse his behavior at all.
And that's the part I like the most about it was when she come back and why she come back. I was talking to a friend of mine that's a Trump supporter dude, and he was trying to excuse it. He was saying oh, if it really happened, she would have went to the media right away. And I came back with him and I told him, dude, you from New York City. You voted for grabbing by the coochie dude. You know how things are, all right? You know when you're in New York City and you see girls getting catcalled all the time, they don't always go running back to daddy or mommy to complain about it because they're used to it. They either curse the guy out right there or just ignore him and keep it walking. So what I like about her response was that I didn't like it that she kind of let it go, but I understand why, because it's that's the way it is. It just happens and she's used to it. But when he made that fake apology, she was like, nah, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
This is why I gotta say something, because I'm used to it for guys to be this disrespectful, but for you to come and then use your wife and daughter as a shield, that's above the line. And that's the part that I was like, yeah, go get him, girl.
It's like AOC said, it doesn't matter if you have daughters. It doesn't matter if you have a mother. It doesn't matter if you have a wife. Our job as men is to better respect women as people, as equals, and none of that other stuff matters. There's really no excuse for that type of behavior, no matter who you are, no matter what your background is. We have to hold each other accountable better. We all in this group, we all chat almost every day. We call each other out on our toxicity. You know what I mean? Or our male toxicity. We do that to each other, and that's really what we should be doing across the board. All men should be holding men accountable. Women have been doing that for far too long at this point. It's our job to now take over and do the job for them so that we hold each other accountable and make ourselves better.
Yeah.
Nice. Well said.
Yeah, I can't imagine the difficulty of being a woman in a toxic world that we live in, where men in the workplace would casually call women B-words, and not just in this situation, but I've seen that situation, and I've also heard other people that have dealt with that situation where if a woman is assertive, if a woman stands up for an opinion she believes in, she's considered a bitch. But if a man does the same behavior, he's considered a leader, outgoing, assertive, and I love this group that we're able to hold each other accountable. I know we joke that if anyone in our group says the B word, we try to remove that from our language.
Yeah.
In the old days, in the early 2000s, the common thing was to say, oh, that's gay, as a bad thing. Now we don't use it anymore because we know better. You got to improve yourself. So, in the case of AOC, I don't really have much to add. I'm extremely proud of her as a Latina woman stepping up and fighting on, because that's not easy. It's never easy for a woman to step up and fight for herself, because there's so many entrenched powers that often after they fight for themselves in a normal workplace will make them suffer because of that. I've been in workplaces where men were accused or committed sexual harassment, and nothing really comes out the situation despite HR complaints, and then you end up bullying the person who was sexually harassed out, and the person who was the abuser is still there years later, and that happens everywhere. So for AOC to step up on behalf of those women and of those people who are abused, I hope it gives other women the strength to do the right thing and to call out those men. And hopefully it gives the strength to those people in power to hold everyone else accountable.
Nice. I think that this was a great moment for AOC. You know, when she first came out, people knew her as a socialist or a democratic socialist, and I believe the mainstream media tried to paint that as a bad thing and paint it on her. And Fox News definitely tried to paint her as a democratic socialist and as a bad derogatory word. But she's been like Teflon Don or Teflon AOC. Everything has been really rolling off. Even when she has a bad moment, a bad day, a bad news cycle, she always comes back. And I even saw in The View recently that Meghan McCain said that she potentially is going to run for Chuck Schumer's job. And I think that would be very interesting to see her topple a big leader like that. And I think at the very least, hopefully, maybe that's why he's pandering to Bernie Sanders with these little, I'll support your 10% increase. Who knows why he's doing what he does. But I think that would be a very big deal. She did it once. Let's see if she can do it again. Hopefully we'll see what she does. All right, that's case study PJ overtime in your PJs. All right, everybody. I hope you had a good one. And adios. All right, you gotta come up with some kind of saying at the end. All right, guys. I love it. Do you guys?